You know, the only thing that's missing is if that freak from Metropolis flew in here.
Hey everybody, and welcome, well, to Batman Arkham Knight. And in this video, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the suit that I'm wearing in the video.
Come on, man.
Well,
50 bucks. Pay up.
the suit
Come
is
on.
Batman Beyond.
Not like you guessed
And we
it
all
was
know
me.
Batman Beyond is
Put money
amazing.
on him being
Well,
an alien refugee from a dying
anyway,
planet.
I'm going to tell you a little bit about
I
it.
could have sworn I
Now,
heard that
the
before.
original series was released in 1999, on July 10th, and it ran to, I believe, December 18th of 2001, I believe. Yeah, that's what it was. And basically, the whole premise of it is Batman's gone. It's in the future, and this is a new Batman. This is not the Bruce Wayne Batman, although he is mentored by Batman. And the man under the cowl is Terry McGinnis, a 17-year-old, I believe, high school student who is basically Batman, trying to figure out how to keep these two things separate, or just, you know, trying to be Batman, sort of thing. Basically what happened is, in the first two episodes, it gives us like a brief little thing, which I'm going to tell you right now. Like, right now. Okay, anyway. Basically, the whole premise is, Batman is getting old. It's 2019. We have an old Batman. He basically goes in to save, I believe, a princess or an heiress, or whatever she is, because she got kidnapped, and they're holding their friends and be like, give us the money, and they're like, we don't want to give you the money, so they're gonna kill her. And Batman comes in the Batman Beyond suit, which, well, while fighting, he has a mild heart attack. While fighting the thugs off, and while fighting the kidnappers off, not the thugs. Well, they're killing the thugs, but I don't know. Anyway, he has a mild heart attack, almost gets beaten to death by one of the kidnappers. So he has to pick up a gun and threaten the guy with the gun, which he does. The guy just runs off. He doesn't kill him. This is Batman we're talking about now. He don't kill him. He doesn't kill him. The guy runs off and is like, no, Batman, he pulled a gun. What?
He's been unmasked.
What is this thing? Why? It's Batman. Anyway. Sorry. He basically goes off, runs, gets caught by the cops. Batman then walks out of the place and then goes back to the Batcave and shuts down everything and says never again. Fast forward, we get introduced to Terry McGinnis. He's a high school student, he has a girlfriend and everything. It's all peachy culture, and he's like, ah. And then while at school, he's wrestling with this one, like, jock dude. Just call him douchebag for now. He's wrestling with douchebag, and douchebag basically antagonizes him, so he punches him in the face. He needs to find a little bit of an outlet for things, but I'm not here to criticize anger or I'm going to tell you about this. About the Batman. That's basically what happens. And he gets grounded. His dad, he gets home. His dad said he's grounded. And they have a fight, and he says some bad things. Now, a little bit of backstory on his dad. His dad works for Powers, I think it's Powers Wayne Enterprise, right? I believe that's it. I don't know. I'm on the wall like it's gonna tell me it is. Anyway, that's what it is. Powers Wayne Enterprises, because Powers bought out Wayne, because Batman's not around anymore. He's basically up in the Wayne Manor, recluse and everything, and he's like, oh, I'm not gonna do that. Kind of thing. So he takes over the company, but there's the thing. He's using the company to basically wage war against the world. Well, sort of. He's making sort of like a gas thing that kills people. best way to put it. Think of silent but deadly kind of thing. You know what I mean? I believe you do. Anyway, he basically does that. He's doing that. And basically, back to Terry McGinnis. He basically tells Dad, about my life. I'm just ruining my life. I'm a teenager. Leave me alone. And so, he breaks his curfew, or breaks his grounding, and be like, no, I want to go. I want to go out. I want to do things with my life. Well, while he leaves, there's also this other person that works for Powers, comes up, and, well, he kills his father. Easy way to put it, his father gets the axe. And the guy tries to frame it on the local gang, the Jokers, which Joker is very present in this little future dystopian city that they have for Gotham, or that they did with Gotham. And a little note is that Alfred, Lucius Fox, Captain Gordon, and everyone else you really love in the old animated series. I'm sorry, but they are dead. And yeah, that's kind of bad. Also, Dick Grayson, Bart Gordon, and Tim Drake have all just moved on or had a falling out with Batman. And Batman has kind of just been like, screw you, Justice League, I don't want rah, Batman. Ooh, leave me alone. Kind of thing. And I don't know why I did it, but it didn't. Anyway, basically, he goes out and meets up with his girlfriend at the local club, and then Sir Douchebag comes out, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna beat up Douchebag, but then his girlfriend kind of, no, don't do that, don't, no, come back to me, baby, sort of thing, and then he is like, well, okay, and then the Jokers show up, and, well, wreak havoc, like all the Jokers do in Batman media, or comics, or anything Joker related. They basically are there to cause as much chaos and havoc as they can. And they do. But Terry McGinnis is there, and he's had enough of it. He's like, I'm done with this. And he finds a new media for his outlet, or for his anger. And basically beats up, starts the fight with the Joker gang. And does that. But he has to get out of there. He's outnumbered, so he runs off, and they sort of chase him down to the pier, the docks, or somewhere. And he ends up going to Wayne Manor, where he meets Bruce Wayne. After he crashes the motorcycle he's on, while being chased by the Joker's gang. And then, well, leads to the best action fight of an old man beating up Jokers. Which is pretty cool, and I highly recommend you go see this episode. It's the very first episode, so it's amazing. Basically, one of the Jokers gets off of his bike and says, don't you know who I am? We're the Joker! Don't you know who we are? We're the Jokers! And he's like, sure you are. With like this grin on his face. It's the best and most satisfying thing ever. And it's amazing. Anyway, they basically beat up the Jokers. They get him, and they make him go run, scare him back to their Harley Quinn or wherever they are. And what ends up happening is, after all this, Batman has another little mild heart attack, and Terry McGinnis helps him inside. They meet Ace, the Bat Hound, which is, he's not Ace, the Bat Hound, he's just Ace, the Dane Hound thing, Greyhound, but he's black. Anyway, I'm kind of lost for words, but no. Anyway, basically what happens, Terry McGinnis gets Bruce Wayne's medicine, gives him the medicine. Bruce Wayne falls asleep, and he wants to sleep. So, he goes over to the door, and, well, Ace doesn't want him to leave. He starts barking at him and everything. Well, he wants him to leave, but Ace is gonna bite him. you know, because Ace is protective and everything. He goes out there, or he opens the door, and Ace is there. Blocks him. He closes the door and says, well, maybe I should just call my dad. Unbeknownst to him that his dad is well, gone. That most swimming with the fishes. Cinder block. Anyway, he basically hears sort of, well, not sort of. He basically hears a bat squeaking in the closet in Wayne Manor. And if you all know, where there's a bat, there is an entrance to a bat cave. He basically tries to free the little creature and discovers the bat cave, where he then gets hit in the head by Bruce Wayne himself. Hits Terry McGinnis over the head with his cane and says, get out. And, well, he leaves. Fast forward to the second episode, which this is a two-part episode of the premiere, or the plot. Terry McGinnis basically finds out and geniusly finds the CD which a co-worker gave to his dad to be like, hey, if anything happens. And then he looks at it and finds out that, well, Powers is not a nice guy. He's weaponizing the gas, or using the gas to kill people. And, well, first it was animals, now it's, well, people. And it's kind of wrong, and it's sick, and it's really weird. Like what it does. It basically leaves like black splotches all over. Basically, what happens is Terry McGinnis finds it, brings it to Bruce Wayne. Bruce Wayne says, I can't do anything. Take it to Barbara. He goes to take it to Barbara Gordon. Then Powers is like, hey, I know you have the CD. Give me the CD, or else I'll beat you. Well, I won't. This guy, which is the guy that killed his dad, which has a scar on his face. I don't really remember his name, so I should. Basically, says no, and then he runs off, not before getting shot at, and almost killed. And then he has the bright idea to grab the bat suit out of the bat cave where Bruce Wayne is, and Bruce Wayne is, well, asleep. So he just grabs it. But what ends up happening is, here's Ace outside. He frees Ace, finds out that, well, Terry McGinnis stole the bat suit. And, well, he's not too happy about that. So, he goes to a little intercom thing. But before this, Batman is listening in on the whole thing between Powers and this one dude, which is gonna buy the gas, and I'm gonna release it on my country and be like, I'm gonna be a hero. And well, I don't really country hero, but good on you, man. And he listens in on that, but gets caught because he's not really speaker like Batman was. And so he gets chased by guards, and then he hears Bruce Wayne over the mic saying, I want my bat suit back. Bring it here. And he's like, well, kind of, now's not a good time, Batman. And Batman's like, well, screw you, Terry McGinnis. And then shuts down the suit, where leads to Batman getting his ass kicked. His ass was rightfully and properly beaten by guards, who then almost kill him with a gun. And basically, Terry McGinnis convinces Bruce Wayne to be like, hey, they're gonna kill me, bro. And so he turns back on the suit and lets Terry McGinnis fight it out, and then he says, bring me the suit back. He's like, well, I gotta stop this. Powers is using your company to do this, and my father was killed by Powers lackey. I have to get rid of it. I have to do this. I read up on you. And well, Bruce says, okay, sort of. And it's like, well, do it real quick. And, well, Terry McGinnis goes. Basically what it does is beat the shit out of people. Go over. Infect Powers with his own disease. And, well, sort of, almost, maybe kill the guy that actually did his, or killed his dad, but I don't really know because it doesn't really show it. It just shows the ship sinking, that they're transporting the disease or whatever, the toxin on, and he kind of just sinks in the water. And then it's like, okay, and then it cuts to Powers, which was infected, and the only way to treat the, like, infection was extreme cold or radiation, or extreme heat or radiation. So they radiated his body with radiation rays, and it's like, oh, radiation, and then they're like, you know, by anyone that it could, the mutation of the side effects of the toxin thingamajigger, it does environment things. And so what they do is they're like, he's just like, oh yeah, so whatever, yeah, I'm mutating. Whatever, show me. What's the bad idea, Doc? And then, well, the Doc's like, turn off the lights. And then, well, Powers glows. Not just glows, he glows green. Like Green Lantern. Like really fluorescent green. And you can see his bones. It's very creepy. Very creepy. Yeah. And then it cuts to Terry McGinnis, who is, well, asleep in his bed, hiding in the bat suit under his bed, which is where all of us hide in a bat suit. If you don't know that, you don't hide in a bat suit there. What do you have? Right? No? Okay. Anyway, Bruce Wayne comes in and is like, hey! Or his mom comes in and is like, hey, Bruce Wayne's here! Oh my god! And then he's like, what? Bruce Wayne? And then Bruce Wayne offers him to be Batman full time. That's sort of what happens on the Batman Beyond. First 2 episodes. Terry McGinnis is now Batman. Which there is, like, more to Batman. But don't have time for it. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys come back for more. Bye, guys.
So has the Bat taken care of these?